The one thing that I feel like I haven't been successful in is convincing people that we need to change the format of our championships. To me, the worst part of college gymnastics is our championships. Not in terms of performance quality of our athletes, because it's unbelievable, but just in terms of it being something that's easily understandable by the media and the audience, and to the casual spectator. They come, and our events are much too long and much too difficult to understand to really grow in popularity and keep up with some of the other sports that have become much more popular over time.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you could change it to be like your ideal championships, what would you do?
I'd make it so that there were never more than 4 teams on the floor at once, so that and I'd make it so that scores were posted after each routine, so it you knew where everyone stood at every, after every single routine, so the audience could follow it. It just amazes me that we get to the end of our championships and it's 30 minutes before they announce, who the winners were and all that kind of thing. And I just think, what other sport? Imagine a football game where,
Yeah.
you get to the end and they turn off the clock and nobody knows what the score is or how much time is left. And then at the end of the thing, it just kind of ends, and 30 minutes later they announce, which team won and which team lost. It just doesn't, build drama and excitement and involvement by the audience and by the media. And I think we've got to, make that transition. Or I think we're going to be not far behind the men. I think we're going to lose popularity. Other things are going to become more popular, and we're going to lose more and more programs over time.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the men's gymnastics is obviously not as popular as women's in college, and so do you think that a lot of your principles and what you've done here could be applied to the men's side? If you could give advice to a men's coach, what would you tell them to do?
That's tough, because I think that train's already left the station, unfortunately. In this age and the economy that we live in right now, it's difficult to see how things are going to come back, and I think that's disconcerting even for women's programs, because as we consistently lose a few programs over time, and that continued to happen. When I started coaching gymnastics, there were over 225 women's programs.
Oh, wow.
And now we're probably down to 80, 85, 86, something like that. And we still consistently lose a few, every few years. So, and I don't see in this economy how it's practical to think that once a program's gone, it's ever going to come back. So, I think we've got to wake up. Certainly there are strong programs, and Utah's going to survive, and some of the schools in the Southeast Conference and the Big Ten and Pac-10 are going to survive for the foreseeable future. But if it gets down to those few programs, it's just going to be, tougher and tougher to maintain gymnastics in the college environment.